going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Puckett here. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. We're going to kick it off straight in. I'm not going to yap too much on this. We'll talk a little bit more once we get in game. But once you get past that intro scene, it takes forever that nobody can skip. Luckily, they're supposed to be fixing it, but who the hell knows? But right here, you can go into play. Ain't worried about offline. Loading. Okay, so starting here. Create us a character. I already have 2 characters. Don't worry about them. This will be great for anybody starting out. You'll learn a little bit through this. Hopefully I learn a little bit too. If I chime in or y'all chime in, I don't know something, definitely let me know. I have no problems with that. Because hey, we're all still learning. Cool. All right, let's go. I got an idea for this dude. Don't care about this. We'll go blue. Go to this color. Logo, always Icarus wings. We'll name this guy Pumpkin Bob. Oh yeah. Alright, I'll explain some of the money and stuff a little bit later on. Probably not in this episode, but I've got plenty of these coming down the road, so stick around for that if you're wanting to see a little bit more about the loadout system, workshop, all that. We're gonna go new prospect. I have a few of these unlocked. We're gonna start off with number 1, Beachhead Recon. Now, this guy's going to run his mouth. I'm not going to listen to it. We're just going to go straight down here and claim prospect, and then we're going to go right into it.
They must have been thinking of some other planet.
All right, guys, we are planet side. I went ahead and skipped the drop animation because it's just obnoxiously loud, so get that out of the way. First thing you're going to do when you hit the ground, start gathering everything you can. F key, you can hold it and run, hold it and walk, whatever you want to do. Pretty much everything in the environment you can interact with. It can either be cut, mined, something of that nature. But our first goal here is, I'll go over some tips and stuff along the way. But my first goal here is I'm going to get a few levels just by pretty much harvesting and gathering like you see here. First tip, actually, go with the tip number 1. Best source of XP, especially starting off the ship. Get you some rocks. Here, let's do this real quick before I do that. Grab some of these. Rock. Here to crafting. Get us an axe going. And go to slot number 1. Best source of XP is right here. Cut a tree, 300 XP as you can see up in the top left. Don't worry about cutting it up. You do get XP for cutting them up. It's 100 when you bust them, but you're just after the 300 when it drops. I'm gonna go through here. I'm gonna chop down a bunch of these trees, get us some XP and some levels, and then I'll pick it up with y'all as soon as we get to that point. Oh, looky what I found. Pumpkin Bob. Damn. Pumpkin Bob has found the Holy Grail. Pumpkins! Pumpkins! Alright, guys, we are back. I hit level 3. So I didn't spend none of my points. I want to do that on record. That way y'all can see what all I put them in and what path I go. So yeah, pretty much chopped down the whole forest. Found some pumpkins. Fantastic for Pumpkin Bob. You know he loves pumpkins. So we'll go ahead and go over a few things here. Let's see here. Let's go to talents first. So with talents, you get a point every level for talent. Now every 5 levels, you get 2 points. So this will actually be tip number 2. There's a total of 48 skill points. This game does not tell you when the cutoff is. I will tell you. Level 40 stops. You get no more talent points after 40. They're supposed to be adding a reskill. Shut up, dude. I'm talking. You piece of crap.
When your oxygen gets low,
Hey, he's gonna explain to me. Hang on. Let's get this guy shut up. Thank you. Can I talk now? I sure would appreciate it. Anyways, level 40 is the cutoff for skill points. So make sure you use them wisely. There's a bunch of skill points in here, especially really good ones. So it is hard to choose. Now, my recommendation is if you're playing by yourself and you do not plan on playing with anybody else, the solo tree is where it's at. They have some great buffs in here, and some of them are a little OP, but it's mostly because you're playing by yourself. You don't get the benefit of playing with somebody else. So for us, I'm only going to be running solo on this. This will be strictly for, you know, the YouTube, for you guys, for me. So we're going to run just straight solo tree. Once we get that full, we'll go from there. But most of my starting points will go into this tree. So we're going to go stamina twice and health once. That's our choice right off the bat. No thought into it. Stamina is great to have, just outboard running, mining, chopping trees. It affects everything you do. You want as much stamina as possible. Health is pretty obvious. There's predators. You want as much health as you can to try to survive. Plain and simple. Tech tree. All right. First thing, we're going to go campfire, stone knife, bow, arrows. Go over here. Thatch, wood walls, or sorry, floor walls, not wood. Let's see. What else do we want here? Bedroll for a save point. And we want a bandage. All right, that's all of our points. I'll explain why. Campfire and bedroll. Bedroll is your spawn point. I'll show that to you here in just a little bit. Campfire, you actually need a campfire to sleep in your bed. So those two go hand in hand. Stone knife, we need self-defense, close range. Bow, pretty self-explanatory, gives you the long range advantage, good for hunting, killing predators. Bandage, two things. One, it stops a light bleed. And two, it's actually a good source of XP, especially early game for leveling. So we'll get to that momentarily. Thatch, it's not a great building. It's quick, it's cheap. It's just a small little hut to be able to build in a kind of a pinch. It gets damaged in pretty much every storm other than just your basic storm. So not great longevity. I wouldn't build no big base out of thatch because it's not going to last. Just don't do it. Wood, not too bad, but it can catch fire, but we'll get there when we get level 5. We're going to go straight in here. Let's see, I got stone. Sure do. Let's craft us a pickaxe. Get that out of the way because I haven't done that yet. I haven't done anything off camera. Go ahead and get the knife crafting. And we'll be able to craft 3 arrows, so 2. Give me 3. Okay, there we go. All right. So right now, we're low on oxygen. Go ahead and explain this to you. This rock right here is called oxite. Early game, this gives you oxygen. You can put it in your slot on your suit. It'll auto feed over, which you'll see it. Yep, just right there. It took one. Later on, you'll get oxygen bladders, oxygen tanks, so on. They last a lot longer. So you can go a lot longer without having to do rocks. These rocks actually do affect your weight, which is right here. So the quicker you can get to those bladders and stuff like that, it'll actually help your weight a lot, and you don't have to deal with mining so many oxygen rocks.
Before you start building,
And this guy's going to talk and interrupt me again, so...
Just another minor miracle brought to you by the weirdest planet in the spiral arm.
All right, now we got that out of the way. Other suits do have slots as you upgrade. We get to the workshop. I'll show you all that when we get to that. Other suits do have slots for food and water, so you can get a water skin, canteen, however it go in this when we get that suit. Food, same way. You can put, like if we had a suit, we can put pumpkins in there. It'll auto feed us, so on and so forth. Now, for tip number 3, I think that's 3, pretty sure. So this guy tells you to get water, go down here and drink water. Don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that. You can get sick from drinking this water. He tells you the suit purifies it. For drinking, it doesn't. If you take a drink, you can get sick. I don't know why they say that. I don't know if it's a glitch or however they done a poor job of explaining it. But the best way to do this, jump in the water and just wait. You can breathe underwater. Oh, piranha. Ah, get out of here. Oh, wow, you
Fish don't seem to
son of a
mind.
gun. Give me my axe back. We got bit by a piranha. So that's what that symbol is in the bottom left. You see, it looks like a little toxic bubble. Oh, okay, we got him. But anyways, like I was explaining, so if you look at my water now, it actually went up. It's full. You can't get sick like this. And you can breathe underwater. Makes sense, right? So your water goes up this way, you can't get sick from it, you're fine. But if you drink it out of the water, then you can get sick. So I recommend just jumping in for a little bit, getting you a drink. Simple, easy, best way to go. Now for pumpkins, we're going to eat us a couple of these, get our food up. Got a watermelon too. Go over here. So the oxide rocks, we do need some of that. So we're going to go ahead and go over here and mine some of them. They do spawn in big ores like this, big blue. Get our pickaxe out. I'm gonna beat on this for a little bit. All right, we finished up with that boulder. Go ahead and drag this over so we're good on oxygen. All of our stats will pretty much be full. If y'all want to see like these buffs that's down there in the bottom left,
Just another minor miracle brought to you by the weirdest planet in the spiral.
this right here will explain all your buffs. So we're poisoned. That was from that piranha that got us in the water. Melon gives us additional 50 stamina, 10% less oxygen consumption. Now these right here, these are amazing berries. You'll find them all over the place. All you gotta do is consume one. Now you can get food and water from these, so you can consume as much as you need if you want to use those for food and water. But I recommend just use them as a buff berry. That's pretty much what I call them. They're just buff berries. So if you noticed, we got another buff. This gives you another 50 stamina and 10% less water consumption just for eating one berry. And it lasts for 600 seconds, which is right at 5 minutes. So you get 5 minutes of buff for hardly nothing. I think that's 5 minutes, might be 10. I can't do math off the top of my head, sorry. But that's pretty much done. So there were some pretty basic tips, especially for starting out, because the game don't really explain a lot of this stuff. And I had to find out the hard way, and hopefully I can make it easier for you guys. But our first thing is we need to get some rocks so we can make some more arrows, do a little bit of hunting. Over there on the left-hand side, you can see what our quests and objectives is. So the first one is hunt, gather, craft. I haven't done any of that yet, just because, you know, been trying to get some levels. This here is actually a tutorial mission, so there's no, it does have a time limit, yes, but there's no big constraint on time. So you can use this time to get familiar with the game, get resources. Hell, you can build as much as you want to. That's up to you. I'm just here to break down a good, efficient way of learning the game, learn how everything works while you're in this level and not on some of the harder missions. Go ahead and mine some of this stone up. Alright guys, so I went ahead and crafted some stuff up, got us 50 arrows made, mined quite a bit of stone here. There's our arrows here. I went ahead and made a campfire as well. Campfire is pretty straightforward. Fiber, stick, stone. Arrows, same thing. Bows, just fiber and stick, super easy to make. Those are down here in our hot bar now. Go ahead and need us another pumpkin. Alright, so what we're going to do here, our objective is to shoot some stuff. I had a wolf up here actually messing with me a few minutes ago. Let's see if he's still up here walking around. Usually they stick to the area for a while. We'll take out this deer. So there is a stealth button on here, and you do get a stealth multiplier. So I recommend if you're taking a long shot, definitely crouch, because you'll get a little bit of a bonus shooting. And I shot Bambi. Was not intentional. I wasn't my kid. I probably would have shot him anyways. And there goes the big one. Alright, let's get this knife, go up here. Now there is still a wolf here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where, but let's go ahead and get these two skinned up. Alright guys, tip number 4. You can break up animal carcasses. So just because you skin them and they're laying here like this, you can still get resources. You can beat them with a pickaxe. Your knife's actually more efficient, but the knife breaks super easy. But you can break them up and you continue to get bone, like you can see on the right side. You can get bone meal. That takes mortar and pestle. We'll go to that a little bit later on when we get into crafting. But early on you can make bone tipped arrows, which do a little bit more damage. So they're pretty decent to have. I prefer the flint arrows, which we'll get to that. But bone arrows, if you can get enough bone. And they are pretty expensive, but bones are relatively easy to get if you like hunting and shooting at stuff. So we're going to continue. Oh, well, here we go. Got one right here. Hopefully you don't see us. Right in the snout. Go over here and get this bad dude skinned up. Each animal has a little bit different. This is actually usually what they carry. Some animals will have fur. Fur is used for some of your armor later on. It's pretty handy. And I think you actually need it for a bedroll as well. Leather, bone, meat, pretty basic stuff. About every animal you kill will have something like that. Rabbits give a little bit less. There is a crafting bench later on called a skinning bench. Great for early game too, because you can take animals to it and you get usually double to triple the resources out of an animal. So it's very good to have, especially early on. which I'll show y'all that we do base building. We're not going to get into none of that on this episode. That'll be on the next one. But I'm going to go around. I'm going to kill some stuff, probably level up again. I'll use them skill points on camera, of course, and then we'll get into just building a little basic base to satisfy the quest, and we'll be done. Chime in on this real quick. Super easy. Something breaks early on, you don't know how, right click on it, hit repair, fixed. Some things do take workbenches, crafting benches, you know, anvils. All your early stuff, stone stuff, it's literally just right click, repair. Just got to have the item. Like this takes 1 stone, just hit repair, fully repaired. Simple, sweet, straight to the point. All right, guys, so another tip for y'all. This is tip number who the hell knows. So you've been doing what I've talked to you about. You're moving on. You don't have a base built. Storm comes in. Now, a lot of these storms, I haven't ever took damage from these low level storms. Let's put some oxide in here real quick. I don't know if you can or not. I know the later storms you do. These ones I haven't ever really took damage from. Don't know if it's a bug or if it's just not a heavy enough storm. Don't know. But if you don't have a base, you can actually use a rock for shelter. So crouch down at a rock, dig you out a little hole in it. This right here.
Just another month. Surviving is about more than just nails and boards. When your oxygen gets oxide,
And tuck in, and you can see our storm exposure went down and now it's gone. We're protected from the storm. Super easy to do. Didn't have to build a base. We're out of the weather conditions. We'll just stay in here till it passes. Up in the top right, you can see how it's a little bit darker there than what it is on the end. Pretty much once that passes, the storm subsides and you can go back out and do whatever it is you're doing. But for right now, we're just going to stay in the rock, wait the storm out, and we'll get back to it. While we're waiting on this storm to finish passing, we did level up. Go ahead and do that while we're here. Next one here. Let's see. These are both health regen. Not a big deal on that. This is actually a really good perk here to have too. I will go into movement speed, just not at the moment. We're just gonna go right back into health, so both of those are good to go. And for our tech tree, let's see what we have here. Go for a torch. I do wait usually a little bit longer on the torches, but for y'all's viewing and stuff like that, especially when we do caves and stuff, I'll go ahead and make some torches. That way it's a lot easier for y'all to see. Hammer, good to have, especially for repairing. I actually wait a little bit on the hammer because I don't build big bases to start out. Because some of y'all may know, some of you may not, but when you get done with the mission, you lose everything other than the stuff you purchased in the workshop. So you don't get to take nothing back with you. You can build this ginormous base and go through, but in the end, you're leaving it behind. So you have to constantly rebuild every map you come into. It does get easier as you go because you do get items from the workshop and can build loadouts. So it does get easier, but it can be tedious at times. Let's see what we got. We're good on this. Let's go ahead and get us a door. I'm not going to get the ramps for this. This is really the only thatch I'm going to get. Everything else we'll just wait on wood. And then we'll go ahead and go into armor. We'll use a chest first. And that's it for our points. I was talking about bandage earlier and how I get those pretty early with the healing, but they're good XP. So if you go here to bandage, we ain't gonna craft 16 because I need fiber, but let's go to 10 and you craft. Up in the top left, you'll see you get 80 XP per bandage craft. So while you're running around chopping trees, if you hold F down while you're moving, you're constantly getting thatch. You can just, or thatch and fiber, or fiber, sorry. Been playing Ark. So you can get fiber from that. So while you're doing that, you're actually working to be able to make bandages, and then you can cut trees while letting bandage craft in the background, so your XP is just going up that much faster, a lot quicker. So the storm is over and it's nighttime. Good thing I made that torch, huh? Go ahead and get one of those made so you guys can see. Let's do 4 of them. All right, guys, I tried to light up a little bit. I know it's super dark. We're actually not going to be doing too much in this section, so not a big deal. Something I did want to show you. You got to be careful when you throw torches down, because you can catch the forest on fire, and it does spread for a long time. It might actually come towards us. Kind of looks like it is. Don't know. it's definitely going that way. All right, screw it. We'll do this quick. Made some walls. Pretty simple to craft. Just thatch. Fiber, stick. Make a thatch wall, thatch roof. So for the starting mission, I just do it pretty simple here. Just 2 floors. Do wall, wall, wall. This right here. Then ceiling. I made it quite far from the campfire, but that's okay. Do this right here, put us in a doorway. You can do R, hold down R, and you can change what the structure is. Just a little 1x2. Let's see here. Now we need a door. Oh, not tech tree. Look for a door. Go ahead and craft that. Get our bedroll crafting. Look at that. Ain't that pretty? All right, get our door down here. Get our bedroll down. Place our door. Bedroll placed. That's really as easy as it is to do this tutorial. Just build you a small base, put a bed in it, craft a campfire, good to go. Now, for your bed, you have to be relatively close to a campfire to sleep. I mentioned that earlier. So we're actually in range. It does have a pretty decent range to it. And later on, your bases, you can actually get indoor fireplaces and stuff that's safe for your bases, not burn them down. So you have that for you later on. But hold F to set your spawn point, F to go to bed and sleep. We'll go ahead and do that. The way it's daytime for y'all so we can see. Fire is still going. So I am going to try to show y'all one last minute tip, something that is really helpful, especially early on. I had the issue happen to me. I killed the baby. Gosh dang it. Happened to me several times. So when you're skinning an animal, this is worse if it's a wolf or a bear or some kind of predator of that nature. So a lot of people don't know that you can actually cancel the skin. And this dude running his freaking mouth. Shut up. Shut up. I don't need a drink. Shut up. Shut up. All right. So if you hold F to skin, you can. Now, I've literally hit every button trying to stop a skin animation because a predator starts running at you or something of that nature. You can actually just hit F again and it'll stop the animation. Say you're good to go. So if you ever have something running up on you and you need to get out of the cutting animation, just hit F. Super simple. See, just cancels it right there on the spot. You can fight, whatever you need to do. That took me forever to figure out. Hopefully somebody can get benefit out of that because it sucked. I died so many times because I was stuck in a cutting animation and couldn't figure out how the hell to get out of it. That's actually going to be it. Our thing's red. We better go get a little bit of water. I'm just going to drink this time. Maybe I'll get sick to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to drink, that way we can complete the mission and we can get out of here. Ooh, watch the torch. You can burn. Don't walk on torches.
Here in the terror zone, the water's
Didn't get sick from it.
clean. Fish don't seem to mind it.
Go back up here to our ship. All right, we're at our drop ship. So I'll explain this to you. So this right here, it can be super confusing because you can actually carry stuff over like it'll let you take it with you. It does not go to you. It will not go out of the map. This stuff will always stay. You can load it up if you want. Nothing will happen. It's useless. It's actually meant for items that you get at the workshop and stuff. However, for some reason, you only have to put them in the dropship to get them back. So really, the only thing I've seen for the dropship cargo is exotics, which is a type of currency in this game. We'll go over later on, of course. So really, don't even bother putting this in. It's just a waste of your time. And then we're going to take off back into space. See, it's third person in the ship, so you can switch views if you want. This right here is pretty much just explaining the mission, how much time you took, stuff like that. Go down to continue. Get back to this screen. Old Pumpkin Bob. Why is my suit blue? My suit's supposed to be orange. Pumpkin Bob's suit is orange. Anyways, this comes up after every prospect. Just shows who was all involved. It shows that it was mission complete. Now, this right here will show if you got currency. That mission's just tutorial, so you don't get no currency for that one. However, the next mission we do, you will get currency for. Which will be this one right here, live wire terrain scan. This one will actually do a little bit of building just to get a little bit involved in it. But that's this mission complete. Now, something else with this, I'll wrap on this before I close this out. They added insurance here in the update pretty recently. I don't think it was this last one. I think it was the one before. Could be wrong on that. But so if you see insurance on it, if your timer runs out, all these have timers. You'll see 7 days, 6 hours, 30 days, so on and so forth. 3 hours. If your timer runs out, and say you left to go on vacation or something like that. So on this mission, if you left and didn't play this game for 15 days, okay, zoom back in, and you came back, your character will be permadead. You can't get him back. It's just over. Now, they did do an event that brung a bunch of them back. I wouldn't bank on that. I don't know if it's going to be a thing they do commonly. It was like a little Christmas gift, I believe. So I wouldn't bank on that. But if you do that, you lose your character permanently. You can't get him back. Now, on these ones that have insurance, on the other hand, this is something they've added. If timer runs out, you can get insurance. You get your character back from the insurance, which it says right here. So that definitely is a nice little thing they added. It's really good. It's player friendly, especially for early game, because some of these are very difficult to do, very time consuming. Not so much difficult as it is time consuming. But this will be our next mission. It awards 100. I don't even know what they call them, but it'll earn 100. So we'll go over that when we get there. I do know what they call them. It's just I can't think of it. Sorry, I went stupid. But that'll wrap up this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you stuck around to the end. If you did, I appreciate it so much. This is going to be a long, drawn-out series. I'm going to try to get as many of these done as I can, explain as much as I can, and hopefully we both learn something along the way. But thanks again, guys. I'm wrapping it up here. We'll see you next time.